This is Piers Morgan Live. Is there anything to be gained, Robert, by Zimmerman taking the stand, given the amount of material from his own mouth that we've already heard?
Yes.
What is that?
The jury can see him, look him in the eye, and that's the best way to make a determination if you're believing that person was actually in fear for his life.
How much could the defence decision on this process, and indeed George Zimmerman's, rest potentially on Trayvon's family taking the stand? Because that could be a very powerful moment. It could be the moment when the balance, if you like, in this trial switches back to the prosecution case. Could that be a tipping point for them to say, we've got to have George up there?
You know, it is so hard to evaluate. Obviously, when the family members testify and the defense then gets a chance to cross-examine, what I would probably do is say, other than offering my sympathies, I have no further questions
right.
of you.
Because you can't win a cross-examination of a grieving mother, right, in this situation?
Or of any relative of a victim. That just is not going to work. And so now the defense is really faced with a dilemma. Zimmerman has, in fact, testified. He's testified on the video. He's testified on the audio. He's been interviewed by the police, who gave their version of his testimony. So the jury at least knows his story. It would be icing on the cake if they heard it from him, but there's tremendous risk, and that is anxiety, nervousness, inconsistencies. You say something a little bit different than you said it before. And the other thing is that chair is the most difficult chair in the world to sit in. I don't care how good a witness you are. You could be a cop that has testified.
I gave evidence once in a court case in Britain. It was terrifying. 5 hours on the stand with a top lawyer coming at me like a 10-ton truck. And even though I'd had a lot of experience in courtrooms as a reporter, I found it a terrifying experience. And
that's true with everybody. And you're a professional. And most people, they get up there and they are scared.
What is your view of how the prosecution has done so far? A lot of lawyers I've been hearing, and Mark Garagos has been very vocal about this, saying he thinks they've been so bad, it's almost like they deliberately want to throw the murder charge, knowing they can't get it, so they get the manslaughter.
Here's what happens in these types of cases. The prosecution generally overcharges in a case that's a high-profile case. And the other thing is they overtry the case. They call many witnesses that are totally unnecessary. They call a witness to tell you that if you hit your head on the ground, you may bleed. That insults the jury.
Have they overplayed their hand, do you think? Well, have they overcharged to start with?
I think they have overcharged.
So really, it should have been a manslaughter charge.
Absolutely.
They would have had more chance of winning.
I mean, I haven't heard any evidence whatsoever that there is malice on the part of George Zimmerman.